Okay, we're here with Mitch Johnson with Merck Animal Health, and we've been talking about Zilmax over the last couple of days. And Zilmax, of course, a product, feed additive used in the feed yards. And I wonder if you could just give a kind of real quick rundown on just what Zilmax is, first off.
Sure, John. Zilmax is a feed supplement which cattle feeders utilize for about the last 20 days of the feeding period for finished cattle. And when those cattle arrive to the packer, there are 4 cattle feeders selling based on carcass value. And so our database of trials with almost 50,000 head of cattle, we see an average response in beef steers of an additional 33 pounds of hot carcass weight for that cattle feeder when those cattle arrive to the packer. And that can realize an economic return for the cattle feeder of upwards of $30 per head that can be achieved in roughly 3 to 4 weeks' time. Additional profit opportunity for the cattle feeder.
You talked quite a bit about some of the benefits down the chain as well, benefits to the packer and beyond. I wonder if you could just kind of summarize some of that, the economic returns that the packer sees as they fabricate those cattle compared with similar cattle not treated with Zilmax.
You bet. Well, Zilmax is a technology that we feel delivers value from the cattle feeder through the packer all the way to the consumer. And as everyone in the cattle industry is aware, we've got some tough environmental pressures on us to meet the very positive global and U.S. demand for U.S. grain-fed beef. And really, Zilmax supports meeting that growing global demand while conserving resources. The additional efficiency that's achieved in those last 20 days of feeding of Zilmax saves significant amounts of resources, including feed resources. There's no additional feed required to bring forward the improved beef production from the product. You're also saving significant amounts of water there at the feed yard. Because of the improved efficiency, you're able to bring that additional beef forward faster, conserving significant amounts of water at the feed yard. You're also bringing more beef forward per animal, and we're aware with the pressures on our cow herd, we've had multiple years of slight decreases in the cow herd, while at the same time demand for our product globally has grown for beef, and so the product helps realize more beef production per animal, which we feel is very good. Now, from a packer's point of view, we feel there's value with this technology for the packer as well. They're able to utilize more red meat throughput through their plants per day, per week, per year to cover those fixed costs, those overhead costs that they have at the plant. They're able to get more saleable product through the front door and out the back door as boxed beef to their food company customers. And we believe there's benefits for those food company customers as well. With several of the higher value middle meats, we've done research and continue to do research to show some steak yield advantages on Zilmax beef. Calf-fed Holstein being a very good example of where we can show some significant steak yield advantages, while also making a more beef-type middle meat steak for the consumer with a calf-fed Holstein. And then ultimately to the consumer, we're helping bring more beef supply, more U.S. grain-fed beef that they enjoy very much, while conserving resources and keeping costs affordable, keeping supply abundant, while also conserving environmental resources.
It seems that the effects and the economic benefits kind of vary between types of cattle, classes of cattle, and that it's really up to the cattle feeder to work with some of the Merck Animal Health representatives to determine just which cattle best fit a Zilmax program, and being able to really predict what kind of a return they'll see in each case, whether it's Holsteins or beef steers or beef heifers.
That's a good point. Management is critical to maximize the opportunities for Zilmax for the cattle feeder, as well as through the chain from the packer to the consumer. And our business process, we have significant numbers of salespeople and technical service people across cattle feeding country, and we work directly with every Zilmax cattle feeding customer from their initial batch of feed on an ongoing process. We have various services that we provide to help them assure that they meet the economic and carcass value endpoints that they're looking for with this technology. We have a diagnostic lab in Lawrence, Kansas that's dedicated to assaying feeds from cattle feeders that have Zilmax, and this assures that the mixing equipment, the feed mill equipment, the delivery equipment at each and every one of our customers is on track, delivering the product on label and consistent, and that's just one example of the types of services that we bring to our Zilmax customers.